How long should I study for? This is a question that plagues numerous students, and we've been asked it many times. It's actually very simple, and we've broken it down into three main categories. The first is a mini study session, which is less than 25 minutes. The second is a medium study session, which is between 25 minutes and 45 minutes. And the third is the mega study session, which is between 45 minutes and 90 minutes in length. Personally, the power comes from the medium study session. Let's move on. We are using the framework, purpose, how to, and when framework in analyzing these three different categories. Moving on to the mini study session. What's the purpose? Quick wins. You at least get in some studying compared to no studying. You feel good and you learn more. Simple. However, there is another powerful purpose to this, which is routine establishment. For example, if you have a study session or you don't have a study session and you want to make a certain period in your day a study session, you would want to use a mini study session to establish that routine and then go from there. For example, early morning habit, you want to set it up, you use a mini study session, or if there's a difficult study session late at night and you want to actually make that study session more productive, or actually make it happen where it previously was not happening, you would use a mini study session. So let's jump right into the calendar. For those of you who attended our Study for Success, we have this calendar that I want to bring up here. For those of you who have not attended it as well, feel free to subscribe to our mailing list and you will receive updates as to our next session. So this is our calendar right here. And the goal is, initially we had a study session from 7:30 to 11 p.m. And this was too difficult for obvious reasons, it's too long. We went ahead and we broke it up into 3 disjoint study sessions, 1, 2, and 3, and in between we partitioned them with yoga and reading a book. Obviously these things could be changed, right? Now this last study session from 10:15 p.m. to 11 p.m. was very difficult to get. And just mentally looking at that, you would feel tired, you would feel fatigued, and eventually a lot of people agreed that they would probably just read their book for a bit longer and then get tired and fall asleep. What I would suggest is you convert this medium study session so far, because it's more than 25 minutes, to a mini study session. So you could simply drop it down from 10:15 to just say, well, something smaller. I would probably go with 20 minutes. So instead of 11, just say, or you could start with 15 minutes. Let's just say 15 minutes for a start. And that way it is much easier in your head to actually say, hey, it's not long, it's just 15 minutes that I have to study for. And that way you will get in that 15 minutes. And once you get in that 15 minutes consistently, the routine starts to happen. And then you push that 15 minutes to 20, 25, 30, and you keep going. So it transfers from your mini study session into a medium study session. That's the power of the mini study session. All right, so we're moving on now. When would you do it? Anytime. Basically, once you have time to get in a quick study session, you can do it. Or in this case, with the routine establishment, you have a set time and you have a set goal. For example, ready before anyone else. If you are going to the mall or going to the movies or doing a family activity and you are the person who is always ready first, then I would suggest, instead of just going on your phone or relaxing or doing something else, hey, get in a mini study session, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and it works wonders because that is free learning, as I like to call it. Wake up early, we dealt with this above. If you finish your class early and you have 15 minutes before, hey, just do a mini study session. Tired and you want to get in some work, so that this was the late night study session that I now went through with the calendar. How to do this? There are different ways you can do it depending on the availability of resources you have. Quick, cheap, easy one, you can have your study card, so it's easy, you just pull it out from your pocket, or you have some recordings on your phone and you just press play, headset in your ears, and it's good. You actually do get in some work, you are productive, you really, really feel good about it. And that's it for our mini study session. All right, moving on to our medium study session now. When would you do this? This would be done when you have a designated blocked off period. Let's just say between 1 and 3 hours. So a Saturday from 9 a.m. until 12 noon, you know you want to get in some assignments, you want to get in some work, that's your blocked off time. That's the first thing. So in your head, you have 3 hours to study. What is your goal? Your goal, your purpose is to maximize that time most efficiently and in a productive manner. What you do not want to do is go all enthusiastic and say, hey, I want to study for as long as possible. You start at 9, and let's just say you push until 9:50, and then you realize, hey, I could do some more. And you push until 10:30, which is an hour and a half, and you say, okay, great, I think I need a break now. You go on a break, let's just say till 11, and you come back at 11, you realize that, hey, you're too mentally fatigued and tired, and you just need 10 minutes again. You end up going on YouTube, you scroll, you read a book, and by the time you know it, hey, it's 12 o'clock, or you're just too tired to study again. So your 3-hour limit, you only get an hour and a half of study. You do not want to do that. What you want to do is maximize the entire session. So how I would suggest you do this would be dividing it up. You need to analyze it. So first you need to pay attention to yourself when you're now starting to get this going. I would suggest breaking it up into either 3 or 4 sessions. The length would depend on you. Let me go through and you understand what I'm saying. So let's say you want to start at 9 o'clock. So you start at 9 o'clock a.m. and your goal is to study for 45 minutes, which is a lot, right? So you stop at 9:45. You take a 15-minute break, 9:45 to 10 o'clock, and then you start back at 10 o'clock, and then you go to 10:45. You stop at 10:45 and you go to 11 o'clock, and then you go 11 o'clock to 11:45, and then you stop there, and that's it. So you've gotten in 3 45-minute sessions. That's perfect, that's ideal. If you can do that, well done. However, this is where the loop process goes in and the feedback system kicks in. If when you start at 9 and you stop at 9:45, you take your 15-minute break at 10 and you start back at 10, and you realize it's very, 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 very difficult to start back at 10 because you're tired, you're frustrated, you're fatigued, you just need a few more moments. What I would do is take that as an indication that my 45 minutes was too long. So next time, I would say, okay, here what, I'm going to start at 9, but instead of going to 45 minutes, I'm going to go to 9:40 instead. So that's 5 minutes less, which kind of doubles up because it's 5 minutes less studying, but 5 minutes more relaxed time. So you start at 9, you finish at 9:40, you still take your 20 minutes break now in this case. You start back at 10 and go till 10:40, and then go again, take a break 10:40 to 11, and then 11 to 11:40. Now let's just go back again. If when you are starting back at 10 o'clock, you are able to start, that's good. But you might not be able to push to 10:40 again because you've now done a 40 minutes. You might get 35 minutes or even 30 minutes, which is still good. I would still stick with it. Or if you want, you could really go back and drop down the 40 minutes to 35 minutes. So go 9, 9:35, and then take a break, and then go 10, 10:35. That should not be a problem. And then go 11 to 11:35. You follow what's going on? Because at the end of the day, when you are able to accomplish that, you will get in more time altogether with the 3 separate study sessions than pushing so much in the 1 study session initially for the hour and a half. Because 35 minutes plus 35 plus 35, that's an hour and a half plus 15 minutes you're going to get in. So that's 15 minutes extra. And I'm sure you would not be as tired. Nice. Moving on. What I would do is take a long break. If you are able to accomplish those 3 study sessions within that 3-hour period, take a long break if you know you have to study after. So you want to study back in the evening, definitely take an hour or 2 hours and make sure that break is enjoyable and relaxing. I would do something physical if it is possible. And that way you start back at 2 o'clock and you could say 2 till 5, 2 to 2:40 or whatever is your medium study session. One last point, and the first point in how to either 3 or 4 study sessions. So depending on your medium study session, if it's a half an hour, then you might be able to not take a half an hour break, but get in 4 study sessions within the 3 hours instead of 3, because these study sessions are shorter now. Yeah, great. Just going through here, we have 45 minutes is your study session plus the 15-minute break, and you do that 3 times. That's the example I came up with. Your break should be 1 to 2 hours depending on how you feel and what you are doing in your break. So now we're moving on to the mega study session. When are we going to do this? This is very important to understand when first. You are not going to study after. That is the main premise. You are going to do a mega study session when you know you do have to study after. Because you will go to exhaustion or mental fatigue. That's the goal. You will do some other activity. For example, if you are going to sleep, so late in the night, you can do a mega study session. Or if you're going to watch a movie, mega study session. Or some physical activity, you're going to go gym, you're going to do dance class, you're going to do music, something in which the other activity is not studying. Because you can afford to really mentally fatigue your brain so that it recovers while you do these other exercises. Family lime, going to the mall, etc. The goal is not going to study for about 2 hours or so. Again, that 2 hours is really, really dependent on you and how you can cope with things. What's the purpose? The purpose is to maximize study time. For example, if you have 50 minutes available to you, but your medium study session is only 40 minutes, I would push, at that point in time, I would probably push to the extra 10 minutes and see what goes on. You might just need to finish the assignments, which is fine. And if you do push to the 50 minutes, then that goes a long way in extending your medium study period from the 45 minutes to the 50 or the 40 minutes to the 50 minutes. Obviously, the time over your medium study period towards the end of the 50 minutes will not be as productive, but that's fine because it really does a lot in development and in pushing you forward. How to go strong? Go strong. Finish that assignment. You do what you need to do. You could use the tips from before. All right, nice. So this is the bonus question. A lot of individuals might ask, hey, I have 1 hour before I go to bed. What do I do? Do I do 2 medium study sessions or 1 mega study session? It's a good question. It's a valid question. The answer really is dependent on you because you are the person going to do the studying. And what would be the main driving factor would be the length of your medium study session. That is why at the start I said the medium study session, in my opinion, is very, very powerful. So let's say your medium study session is 25 minutes. I know that's on the point there, you might be thinking, okay, is that really mini or medium? Let's go with medium, right? So let's say you can do 25 minutes, a very, very low number, in your medium study session. You can afford to break it up and get in 2 medium study sessions with a 10-minute break. So you do a 25 minutes, you take a 10-minute break, and then you do another 25 minutes. That makes up the 60 minutes for the hour. Or if you are able to do 1 50-minute session, so let's just say your medium study session is just 50 minutes, then you can go right ahead and get in 1 medium study session. The second case is when your medium study session is actually 40 minutes. Then what you can do is simply push to the 60 minutes. So you get in, let's just say 40 minutes solid or 50 minutes solid, depending on your medium study session. And the time after your medium study session towards the end of the 60 minutes, you might not be as productive, but again, it would really push that ability to focus more and to get in some extra work. So it is really dependent on you. And just remember, you need to take account of these things, what you are doing. A stopwatch is amazing. Use the Pomodoro technique. If you have to, check out one of the videos by us. It is really amazing. I hope you realize by now that all our tips and tricks are practical, easy to implement, makes you more efficient, and helps you get those A's while enjoying it. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and visit mystudycommunity.com to subscribe to our mailing list, where you'll get updates and more excellent content. In fact,
Are you struggling to find motivation to study? Does it seem to stress you out while others have it so easy? Do you want to reduce the amount of time you take to study and still get the same amount of work done? There has to be a better, more enjoyable way, right? Well, there is. Our motivational study seminar Paradigm Shift will teach you the secrets to enjoy studying and get those A's and still have an active social life. Yep. Come discover the tips and tricks that are used by scholarship winners since 2010. Some of these can be found for free on our website, mystudycommunity.com. Imagine, for a golden price of only $3.99, you and a +1 can gain access to these secrets. That's less than $50 per hour for a wealth of knowledge that will last a lifetime and help you in many different areas. Wow, what a positive effect that can have on your overall report card, all from attending just one seminar. It doesn't matter if you are at the top of your class or barely scraping by. We have assisted over 2,000 individuals ranging from ages 13 to 65. Yep, 65. And they have all been able to use our secret methods to their advantage. So definitely you will be able to as well. Our tips are extremely practical and easy to implement. Really simple. So you don't want to miss this opportunity. Register now at mystudycommunity.com and claim your early bird ticket. See you there.